Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Randy Clark is back here in the new year from Randy Clark and Associates, hailing from beautiful Dallas, Texas. He joins us live again today to talk about this amazing hair replacement system that he has for men and women. And I'm telling you, the highest quality, him being behind his product and his clients for so many years with all his expertise, him and his staff will make you feel right at home to help you, have that head of hair that you really want and truly deserve for the new year, right? New year, new you. That's what they say, Randy, right?
Correct.
And how many people want to become a new you? A lot of us, right? Tell us a little bit about Randy Clark and Associates. And by the way, it's randyclark.com. Tell us about what you offer, Randy.
We have hair replacements for men and women, daily wear and bonded. Daily wear is when someone takes it off at night. That's a very small part of the business today. At one time, it was a large part of the business, and now, since about 25 years ago, the bonding came in to play. Well, that pretty much took over the industry, and it went. I mean, the business model went from here to here overnight. It was amazing what happened because people really want to have their own hair, and they want it 24/7.
So when you say the word bonding, explain that process. Is it like a glue in a sense,
It's
in
a
layman's
glue.
terms,
It could
but
be
it
a
stays
glue.
on?
It could be glue. It could be a tape. It could be both, and it's bonded to the skin. And clients that have oily skin, they need to come in about every 2 weeks. Clients with normal skin, probably about every 3 weeks, and clients with dry skin, mostly females, can make it 4 to 5 weeks.
Well, it's great to know that this is available to help so many people because hair loss, hair replacement, very sensitive subject to so many out there. And it's good to know that you're in good hands. You have how many years of experience at this point now, Randy? Not to age you or anything, because he doesn't look a day over 30, but for real, how many years have you been in business for?
May the 5th will be 44 years.
Oh my goodness. Wow, wow, wow. And people are flying into Dallas just to see you, right?
Yes.
Let's be honest, this is great. You have an amazing following of people because they believe in not only you, but in the system and they love it and keep coming back and back for more. Let me ask now, in this business all these years, right?
Mhm.
Has the product changed? Has the hair quality changed? The way they're actually sewing the hair with the highlights, with the gray hair? Has it changed?
It's changed quite a bit, but mostly about 20 years ago. When they went to the bonding, they were using lace pieces mostly in Hollywood. And then when we were able to realize you could bond that lace system to a head and they could get, uh, a bonded 24-hour, 7 days a week wear out of it, we moved over to that. It was actually about 2000 and
Wow.
no, it was about 1991 when that all came about.
Amazing. But let's talk about the quality of the hair. Where are you getting the hair from? Because, by the way, it is real hair, ladies and gentlemen. We're not using synthetic, right? All real.
Correct. We get hair from India. We get hair from Europe, and now we're even use some of the Chinese hair for the longer hair for women because it's they can strip it down and do things with it they can't do with the European hair. So we have multiple areas that we get it from. And there are people that go out and collect it and come back and sell it to us. So
Amazing. And how do they piece it all together? Is it like a machine, like a factory, or is it hand sewn, hand done? How does that?
it's all hand done.
Wow. Hence
Yeah.
the time. It takes a few months to get the hair piece that you
You
want.
know, when back in the 90s, we were getting pieces back from the factory in 5 to 6 weeks. And then over time, it's when China really got control of a lot of the manufacturing, they extended it to 2 months. And then when the pandemic hit, it was 6 months to a year to get a piece. And now after the pandemic, we're back to about 2.5, 3 months.
Wow. Wow. And you can't tell people are wearing these. That's the difference these days. Go to
If they
randyclark.com. If you say it, go ahead.
if they do what we if they let us do it, you can't tell they wear a piece. If they want it a certain way, it might be. I mean, if someone wants to wear too much hair, you have no control over that.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I love that this is a business that's growing, still thriving. I mean, hair loss is something that happens to a lot of us just by genetics. And there's also, do we say diseases, right? What are some of the
Mhm.
things that people are affected with,
Well,
unfortunately?
trichotillomania, which is when someone pulls their hair
Pulse.
out, mostly
Hmm.
women, some men. Um, alopecia universalis, totalis, the areata. That's where they lose spots of hair all over their head. Totalis is where they just lose all their hair on their head, and universalis is where they lose all the hair on their body.
Wow.
And male pattern baldness and female pattern baldness is still a part of alopecia.
Got it. Well, let's also explain a little bit about the process, how it works, the upkeep, how often they need to come see you. By the way, what is your address?
5000 Coram Drive, Dallas, Texas, 75254. And it's Suite 360.
Perfect. All right. So when do you come in? What is the upkeep process? People want to know, how am I supposed to live with this? Can I shampoo it? Can I swim with it? Let's go over all
Yeah,
the basics.
they shampoo it on their head every night, and just like their normal hair. So it's the only time it's not normal is when we take it off to clean it, clean the scalp, cut the hair, and put it back on.
Got it. And how often are people coming in for this?
Uh, like I said earlier, someone with oily skin probably about every 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Someone with normal skin every 3 weeks, and someone with dry scalp 3 to 5 weeks.
All right. And what would you say is the most, the most joy you get from this? I know it's people making them feel good. Give us some of the feel good stories that keep your customers returning and, of course, recommending you to your clients, because I'm sure a lot of your business is word of mouth.
Well, a lot of it's just taking care of people. If you take care of people, they'll take care of you. I got a, a gentleman that came in, and I told you this last time. He came in about 3 months ago, and we ordered the system. And he had just heard about me. He'd been wearing hair for 40 years, and he just heard about me recently and came in, and he's as happy as he can be. He's already bought the program. He's in. It's really neat. It's like I've got an instant friend. Uh, and he's so happy that he has a place to go and get what he wants.
Oh, I love this. And you and your staff, hands-on. Obviously, I know you're like the master everything, right? But you have master stylists below you that work with you as well. They're just as good, right?
Yes, I do a lot of the cut-ins, but there are some clients that they do a little better working with the women. It's a little easier. Men's haircuts are a little more difficult. And the cut-ins, I can do them very quickly. So a lot of times the clients want me to do it just because of that.
Yeah, got it. Well, in all your years of business and learning about, hair and different hair pieces and different, it's become, I think, also a little more custom for people to talk about, which I feel is a good thing because we shouldn't be embarrassed. It's still a sensitive topic. Like I mentioned, people like myself have hair extensions, right? Men and women nowadays are using clip-ins, they're using tape-ins, they're using, that's if you have hair. Now, if you don't have any hair, I can only imagine how that must make you feel. But I could imagine those smiles and they get out of that chair and they walk out that stride of self-confidence and to the
Mm-hmm.
point where it's like, hey, you know what, Randy, order me two or three because I want to come back in next time. So I want the next one right on. I want to come out. And you do that for some people, right? You order more than one so you could style it while you put
Oh yeah, for the bonded clients, you have to order more than one because typical client will get one every 2 to 3 months. So
hmm
they almost have to buy two initially in order to have that second piece there when they're ready to make the change.
Yeah. Well, in this process for someone out there who's, a little hesitant, maybe, hey, New Year's here, I want to feel better. You are discreet, right? People can come in, there's no obligation, but could you explain the process of what you offer and, your confidentiality?
Well, when they come in, we first we see if they can afford it, and we make sure that this is what they really want, and then generally, and 99.9% of the time, it's someone who already has found out about us and they want to come in. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the newbie clients, we get a few we probably get one or two a month. Um, Almost every time they want to get fitted and they want to buy instantly. Very few times do they not go ahead and buy, unless I feel like maybe it's not a good fit, and I tell them to think about it, because you can tell if someone is going to be comfortable with it or not, and take that risk. And if they're not willing to take some risk and some chance, then it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
And most people that come in want hair; they want their hair back.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And let's talk about the trends. Back in the day, I'm assuming it's more like basic colors, but now you're like doing highlights, right? If I wanted to get brown hair with some vanilla cream, blonde highlight, like you could do this. What about right? Because you could dye it all different, and they're really customizable, even for those out there who maybe want to go with the trend. Can you make it?
Absolutely.
Can you pink? Can do some pink or blue or stuff like that nowadays too?
Oh, you can do anything you want. I have a client that she we do pink stripes. I mean pink highlights. So, and we even dye her hair, that her existing hair, we do pink highlights in as well. So and she's just she's an old hippie, and she wants something really wild looking, and it's really a matter of fact, on the next podcast I'll bring one of those samples and show you what they look like.
Oh, that would be fantastic. I would love to see. Yeah, seeing is believing. That's why I love looking at the before and after photos too. But that's
Yeah.
awesome. Awesome. And yeah, feel free to share some pictures too if you want to bring in of clients if they allow. I want to see a picture of you while you did the test, because this is how much you believe in your work. You, for a year, I think it was, you shaved your own head so you can actually walk in the shoes of your clients and customers. Explain that to people. Tell me your, ordeal with that and how that made you feel.
Well, it was D Magazine, which is a magazine in Dallas, that they wanted to do an article about me, and I couldn't. This was like 1986, and I couldn't get any clients that really wanted to put their face out there. So I just shaved my head and did the article myself. And through that, I realized really what people go through and how they feel. It's kind of self-conscious thing. So it made me very aware of how people feel.
Oh, and you know what? It's a hard thing, but it's also a beautiful thing, the end product. And now we are here in the new year. And let me ask, it must be busier than ever. I feel like the new year's here, you want a new look, you want to feel your best, and I believe in all self-care things for the new year, right? Whether you ladies out there, you want to go get your face lasered, you want to get
Mm-hmm.
some Botox, men, ladies, hair. Clothes. We want to look good and feel good, lose that weight, a lot of our New Year's resolutions. But for those out there who may be suffering with hair loss, this is the perfect gift. And I feel like it's got to be amazing. I wish I was in your chair to like see and witness, like, what these clients of yours go through with this
Mm-hmm.
amazing transformation. And you've had clients for years long, like right? Like you keep
I've
coming
got
back and
clients
back.
that, when I bought this business 44 years ago, I've got clients that were coming to me before I bought it, and I'm still working on them. So it's pretty amazing.
Wow. Well, also, let me ask, just for the females out there too, I know it's more of a talked about topic for men who, are dealing with baldness normally more than so females, but females got to be a little harder on because we also have the length. And I feel like it's not as acceptable to have a bald head as a female compared to a man nowadays, right?
Correct.
So now, what would you say the percentage of patients, clients, females you have?
Oh, probably 35% of the business is
Wow.
female. Yeah.
Oh,
And
wow.
the only sad part about for the females is because the longer hair is so much more expensive.
Yeah, that is true.
And even after the pandemic, it even got worse. But I really have talked a lot of them into going with shorter looks. It really looks good. Anyone over 55 years old, 60 years old should wear a shorter cut anyway for a female. I think it just looks better on them.
Yep. I'm almost there, Andy.
No,
Soon.
you're not.
I'm 46 and soon I'm like, I gotta let this hair go shorter. Gotta let it go shorter. But then I do it short or I take my extensions out and I'm like, I feel so ugly. It's just how we feel, right? As
I
women, as men, it's self-confidence.
I convinced my wife to go short with her hair because it's thin, and with this shortcut, it really looks good. I even got her to go gray, and she looks phenomenal.
Oh, that is beautiful. Yeah, it's also about, trying to adapt and going with the change and the
Yeah.
the trends, but it's always so hard
Well,
to get used to.
unfortunately, one of the biggest problems with most people is it's what they see and what they feel. They're not really thinking about just being, having an easy, simple cut, an easy, simple look. They see themselves with so much hair and they can't see themselves any other way.
Mm-hmm. It's so hard. And let me ask how does it work? For someone who has very super frizzy hair, unfortunately. If I came to Dallas, oh, my head would look like a frizzy thing, except my extensions look nice and straight. Go figure. But
Mhm.
can't get rid of the frizz no matter what. I've done the keratin treatments, doesn't really last long. The hair that you get, do you know if it's going to frizz or is it treated to the point where it'll always be what it is? If it's wavy, if it's straight, if it's curly, how does that affect the humidity and the temperature to the hair pieces? Just curious.
We usually can get past that. Now, is it frizzy or is it got a, a
It's
little
got
wave to it? In
it's
other words, if you were to let it dry naturally, would it have a nice little wave to it? A little curl?
No, little like curls to the point where my mom, until she passed, she's like, "What happened?" My mom was going through chemotherapy at the time she lost her hair, and we would joke how, did I go through chemotherapy? Because some people like grow their hair back totally different. And my
Yeah.
mom, even when she was sick, we were laughing about it. My hair, as I got older, became thinner and like really curlier, as if I did
Mm-hmm.
something to it. So it's just frizz, and like it's always breaking up here. Like I have a headband on today, it's all
Mm-hmm.
broken. I have I call them wisps, and like wisps
Mm-hmm.
down here is like if I pull
Mm-hmm.
it out. It's just wispy little nothings. But
Well,
yeah,
because
it's super curly.
when you're flat ironing or straightening it, it's really hard on the hair and it
Mm-hmm.
dries it out, and that's probably what's happening. Um, I always try to convince someone to go with their natural uh, curl
Yeah,
and
you
just
have
kind of
to.
let it do its thing. Because the more you flat iron it, the more you hit it with a blow dryer, you're damaging it and you're drying it out, and which will make it even more frizzy.
Yeah.
And remember we talked about uh, towel drying your hair before you put the conditioner in. Has that helped some?
Yeah, well, don't make me say this, but I'm going to tell everyone the truth is every time I take a shower, tell your wife not to be offended, but I think about Randy Clark now. Why? Because for months he's been telling me, and I laugh and I said, "Gosh, if I had your phone number, I'd shoot you a text right now." And I'm like, but I get to wash my hair for like 4 days or so with the kids. It's so hard, so I don't even have time to text
Uh,
you. But I keep laughing because I'm in the shower, and what you taught me was to make sure, like, I towel dry my hair after I shampoo it, because then you want it to dry. You want to be able to have that conditioner absorb into it. And I've never, ever done that in my life. Hence, I'm thinking that's why my hair is a little more brittle. So now I listen to you and I even put the towel on. Sometimes I get out of the shower, I do some stuff around the house, and then I come back a little later and just put it on when my hair is like almost dry. So
uh-huh.
I thank you for that. Seriously. Tell everyone about, what it does.
Well, when you put conditioner on soppy wet hair, 90% of it's going down the drain. So
Mm-hmm.
you're wasting all the conditioner. You want your hair towel dried so that it'll absorb the conditioner, especially for women with longer hair. It needs to be really all the moisture out of it when you put the conditioner in. And
Yep.
then it's good to let it set for, a few minutes before you rinse it out.
What about, okay, can you put olive oil in hair?
You can, but I mean, it's just going to make it. It's going to leave it oily. You want something that you can rinse out. So, once you put the olive oil in, you're going to have to wash it out to get it out. It's not a conditioner. It's an oil.
True, true. It feels like it makes it a little silkier, but then I'm like, I need some type of good hair treatment. Do you do that to your pieces? Do you give them like a deep conditioning?
Well, there's some oil sprays you could get that are really good.
Like what? Like it's an oil spray, you said?
Yeah, there's an oil spray. I can't think of the name of it now. We have it at
Okay.
the office, and you can lightly mist your hair, and it puts the oil back into the hair.
Like a Moroccan oil? Or I
No,
mean,
it's like Moroccan oil, except it sprays on. You can do a light fog all over your head. Of course, my brain is not working on the name of it, but I will get that for the next show and show that to you. Matter of fact, I'll text it to you.
thank you. I appreciate that. I would
Okay.
love to see it. Thank
When I get in
you.
the office tomorrow, I'll take a picture of it and send it to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Randy. And by the way, if you are just tuning in, yeah, Randy Clark here is live on the podcast and Zoomcast talking about hair replacement for men, for women, and really, he's here helping so many people feel better, look better. RandyClark.com is the website. He's based out of Dallas, Texas, been in business. I can't believe I'm going to say this, 44 years. It sounds like I'm making a mistake, but no, 44 years. And now this was not the business that you started out in. You had no idea you would end up here, but you fell in love with it, right? Could you just
Mhm.
tell everyone a little of your backstory that's new to the show today?
Oh, I was cutting hair and I really wanted more.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went to work for this guy that had this business, and he really wasn't utilizing it to the fullest. So I got in, took it over, and bought him out, and just kind of grew it from there.
Wow. And talk about an amazing business and accomplishment that you have and you continue to do. And is there, I'm sure you have friends that have come out of this. Do you have like friends that over the years that they became clients that became your friend and like you're just like
Oh
best
yeah, I
buds
mean
with now?
I've got clients that I do things with on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
Have dinner, travel. So yeah,
Do they look for free touch-ups when you're like
no,
on the boat? No.
oh
I just push it this way.
they
It looks
are
a little.
they are very I mean, if they
Loyal.
need something, I'll do anything, but I mean, normally, they take care of themselves. So no, I've got a lot of friends, and when people come in the office, it's a very nice atmosphere.
Oh, well, I love having you here. It's always a pleasure speaking with you. We still have 5 more minutes left in your show, Randy. Do you want to share
I
any?
think the next
Oh,
I think the next show is this week sometime.
it is. Oh,
Um,
good. So you're going to bring over one of those samples and some of this stuff. Yes,
well, no,
yes.
I was thinking the podcast was going to be here. Let me look.
Good, because I don't have my schedule, Randy. I don't even get my schedule till the morning of. I'm sorry.
It
So you tell
looks like it's
me.
going to be Wednesday the 8th, and if
Okay,
so, I'll be at the office.
awesome.
So double check that and let me know if I'm wrong.
Okay, and just curious, you'll be in the office that day. Is there,
Yeah,
even if you have other staff members you want to bring on to say hi, that'd be great.
sure.
Yeah, awesome. That's good to know. So, let me ask you, in the new year, right? What do you expect new for 25? I mean, you are so established in your business, and it's a business that's, that is established in a sense. And we're out here, we're promoting you, we're talking about you. And what would you say sets Randy Associates aside from anyone else out there that's doing, I won't say exactly the same as you, but trying to do what you're doing?
How do I feel about that? I mean, what?
No, how would you rate yourself in a sense? I know it's hard to talk about yourself, but why you're the best, Randy? That's what I'm getting down
Well,
to.
I mean, for me, I have a lot of competition, but I don't have a lot of competitors.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been the way I've run my business, I've kind of isolated myself, and we give the best care we can give to each client that comes in. And like I said one time before, you can't please everybody. There's some
Yeah.
people in the world that cannot be pleased, and you've got to be able to see that and move on.
Wow, it's true. Well, I think you're great. I've seen your work. I get to talk to you on a daily basis. And clearly, you've been in business 44 years. I think that's like says a lot. That probably says it all.
Yeah,
But
you were 3 years old.
oh gosh, yeah. How'd you know? My birth, oh, I'm 46. I think I told you that, but my birthday's in 4 days. Wait, yeah. You are correct. I'll be 47. My goodness. Wow. It doesn't even seem possible. And you know what? I would give anything to have Randy's hair. Randy, or why don't you start selling your hair? Cut that off and I'll have a nice little bob soon. But you have such good hair.
I do have. I'm very very fortunate.
You are blessed. Your wife must be jealous at times, right? Like,
No, I mean, she's got a good head of hair too.
oh, well, it's always a pleasure having you here. Excited to know you'll be back to work in the office officially soon. And on Wednesday, I guess we'll get to talk more about all that you have to offer. If someone wants to come in from anywhere around the world, they reach out to you. Do you offer initial consultation? Is there a charge that goes towards a purchase? How does that process work to make that appointment?
There's no charge for consultations.
Love it. Even better. And do you offer financing for some people who, maybe a little
Well,
too
we do on the programs. We allow them to pay monthly, so
awesome. That is
that is in a
financing. Yep.
sense financing.
That is. I love it because you know what? You spend so much money on a car lease, on, things around the house. It's like you're paying your mortgage, you're paying. I like breaking things down that way myself. So,
Yeah.
yeah, good for you. Thank you, Randy Clark, for being here. Happy helping you to you, your family, and looking forward to seeing you in the office then in 2 more days. One more
Okay.
time, how can we contact you, darling?
www.randyclark.com
Perfect.
or 972-239-0291.
All right. Have a fantastic day and stay cool, stay warm. Wait, it's cold there, isn't it?
Yes, it's 28 right now. It's been getting down to like 23, which is unusual for us. And
Wow.
we're going to be in this cold snap for about 10 days, it looks like.
Do people in Texas even own jackets?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious. Like, but people are like, wait, it's so cold today. I don't even have warm gear. All right. Well, stay warm. We'll talk soon. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye,
Bye-bye.
Randy.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.